Shrek, the green rebellion that rewrote fairy tales. A hook that pops like Fiona's song. In 2001, while Disney churned out princes with jawlines sharper than Excalibur and Pixar dazzled with heroes whose eyes ate half their faces, a green giant burst onto the scene. Not a knight, not a king, just Shrek. This wasn't just a character, it was a revolution in muddy boots. Shrek didn't just break fairy tale cliches, it roasted them with a side of wit, leaving Disney's storybook in the dust. For films, spin-offs, a Broadway musical, and enough memes to fill Farquaad's castle later. Here's the real magic. Shrek isn't just a comedy about a gruff hero and his chatterbox donkey. It's a postmodern masterpiece that flipped animation script toward down crowns and whispered a bold truth. Real strength lies in embracing your layered, authentic self. Buckle up, like Donkey chasing a dragon spark. We're diving into why this green rebel became a myth for a generation. Origins. From picture book to pixel revolution, Shrek didn't start under Hollywood's bright lights. It sprang from the quirky pages of William Steig's 1990 book, A Wild Tale where the hero breathed fire and his love was green from the get-go, no spells needed. In 1991, Steven Spielberg grabbed the rights, envisioning a hand-drawn adventure, but Toy Story's 1995 CGI, boom, changed the game. DreamWorks doubled down, crafting Shrek into one of animation's first digital giants over 6 intense years, 1995 to 2001. Animators studied forests, candlelight, and earthy textures to make every frame feel alive. Think building a blockbuster where every detail hums with life. 31 million render hours, hundreds of computers, and 9 months perfecting Fiona's curls and Donkey's fur brought this world to the screen. Shrek's look, inspired by Maurice Tillet, a French wrestler whose bold features made him a ring legend. Yet he spoke 14 languages and wrote poetry, proving heart and strength can coexist. The voice? Total chaos. Chris Farley recorded 90% of Shrek's lines before his tragic 1997 death. Mike Myers stepped in, swapped his Canadian accent for a $4 million Scottish bro drawn from his mom's bedtime stories, and hit gold. Nicolas Cage passed, fearing he'd be seen as too wild. Ironic, given his unhinged Mandy role. Cameron Diaz replaced Janine Garofalo as Fiona, her accidental soda burp becoming a fan-favorite gem. From this whirlwind of misfits, a classic was born. Fairy tale flipped, a roast with sharp wit. On paper, Shrek follows the fairy tale playbook. Princess in a tower, dragon guard, hero on a quest. On screen, it's a gleeful wrecking ball with a Scottish growl. Fiona sings with a bird like Snow White. Then it pops, and she fries its eggs for breakfast. Shrek spooks villagers for laughs, not glory. Lord Farquaad, a pint-sized tyrant with a glossy kingdom of cues and merch, takes a jab at Disney's bosses. Whispers point to Michael Eisner. His empire? A mirror for Disneyland's polished shine. When little men cast shadows tall, the empire nears its final fall. This isn't parody. It's a roast, crisp as a gingerbread man's edges. Robin Hood struts in with Vincent Cassel's French accent, nodding to William, the Conqueror's Norman roots. The big bad wolf lounges in Grandma's nightie for the vibes. Pinocchio's nose betrays him at the worst moments. Fiona's kung fu fight? Pure Matrix. Shrek's ring slip? A Lord of the Rings wink. The cat fight in Shrek 2? Straight outta Alien. It's postmodernism with a playful edge. Kids laugh at Donkey's antics. Adults catch Tarantino-esque zingers and Rocky Horror nods. Beneath the humor, a truth. Perfection's a myth. Shrek means fear in Yiddish, but our hero just wants peace. Fiona's curse. Human by day, green by night, pushes her to embrace her true self, not chase Disney's glossy ideal. As Umberto Eco might say in History of Ugliness, monstrous is just a label for those who stand out. Characters, heart beneath the grit. Mike Myers' Shrek is a gruff loner with a warm core. His defense is cracked by Eddie Murphy's donkey. Pure chaos, like a Disney sidekick after 3 espressos, charming a dragon into a whirlwind romance. Dragon donkeys, anyone. Cameron Diaz's Fiona is no damsel. She belts out songs, throws punches, and embraces her true self, leading the way for fearless heroines like Elsa and Moana. John Lithgow's Farquaad is a satirical jab at hollow ambition. A capitalist in a crown too big for his ego, his glossy kingdom mocking Disney's polished empires. They're funny, flawed, and deeply human. Donkey's chatter sparks joy. Shrek's growl fuels courage. Fiona's defiance radiates strength. They're not fairy tale molds. They're us, peeling back layers to find who we are. Lithgow lamented recording in isolation, an irony for a story about found family. But Meyer's improv, inspired by his mom's bedtime tales, gave Shrek a soul as real as a heartfelt laugh. These characters didn't just steal the show, they redefined animation, proving heroes could be raw, real, and revolutionary. Music, a soundtrack that shaped a generation. Shrek tossed out sappy Disney ballads for a mixtape. Smash Mouth's All-Star, added after test audiences went wild, became the 2000s anthem. Rufus Wainwright's Hallelujah hits like a heartbreak, I'm a believer, seals the chaotic joy. These aren't just songs, they're the film's pulse, tying Shrek's layers to our own. Somebody once told me, isn't just a lyric, it's a meme, a cultural code, the beat of every awkward teen moment. Like Pulp Fiction's surf rock vibes or Guardians of the Galaxy's retro hits. This soundtrack doesn't just play, it carves Shrek into legend, echoing in TikTok remixes and Shrekfest sing-alongs. Themes, beauty. Shrek is a story about prejudice, shredding the halo effect where looks define worth. Shrek's rough exterior hides kindness. Fiona's beauty masks her true self. Donkey refuses to be just a sidekick. As David Hume put it, identity is a bundle of perceptions, and these misfits ditch society's labels. It's not about chasing perfection. It's about embracing your layered core, flaws, and all. Sequels build on this. Shrek 2 brings Antonio Banderas' suave Puss in Boots. Shrek the Third falters with passive plots, and Shrek Forever After explores midlife regrets with a nod to It's a Wonderful Life. Spin-offs like Puss in Boots 2011 and its 2022 sequel expand the universe. But the original's bite, mocking Hollywood's far, far away with its star maps and red carpets, cuts deepest. This is beauty in imperfection, raw and real. Legacy. From green hero to cultural myth. On a $60 million budget, Shrek grossed $484 million, snagged the first Best Animated Feature Oscar in 2002, and launched a billion-dollar empire, from Puss in Boots to Shrekfest. Its memes? Unstoppable. What are you doing in my swamp? Is the internet's go-to for awkward moments, a digital rallying cry from Reddit to TikTok. As Roland Barthes might say, myths are cultural codes reborn, and Shrek became one. A green hero for outsiders who didn't fit, but triumphed anyway. Its raw truth reshaped heroines. Think Frozen's Elsa and animation's wit. Shrek 5, 2027, with Myers, Murphy, Diaz, and whispers of Zendaya, will dial the nostalgia up to 11. In a world of polished CGI spectacles, Shrek reminds us, life's messy, but that's where the real happily ever after shine. The hero in all of us. Shrek isn't just a movie, it's Fiona's fire, a roar from a hero's heart that burned fairy tale dogma to the ground. It taught animation to laugh, sneer, and feel. It's the VHS we wore out as kids, as somebody once told me, that became our anthem. Barthes would see Shrek as a myth reborn in TikTok dances, a rebel shout against crowns and castles. In a world chasing Instagram perfection, are you bold enough to embrace your true, layered self? Smash that like, hit subscribe, and drop a comment. What's your favorite Shrek moment? Fiona's burp, Donkey's karaoke, or Puss Puppy Eyes? To keep the stories on this channel shining, I need a little support, so please help out via the link below or on screen. Your spark make this fairy tale shining.